Have you heard of Lynch syndrome? I can't hold my hand up here. Until 24 hours ago, if you'd asked me what Lynch syndrome was, I would have had absolutely no idea. But like me, you're about to find out a lot more about it. Helen Bufton is from Trench in Telford. She's the trustee of a new charity called Lynch Syndrome UK. Helen, thank you so much for coming in this morning. What is Lynch syndrome?
Lynch syndrome is a genetic predisposition. It increases your risk of cancers. I think there's about 14 altogether, the main ones being bowel cancer, ovarian cancer and womb cancer. And if one of your parents carries the gene, you have a 50% chance of having it yourself.
This has affected quite a few well-known people, isn't it?
It has, yes. Matthew Wright's family are a Lynch family. However, Matthew did prove negative for the condition. However, he has agreed to be our patron at Lynch Syndrome UK.
So it is, you speak of Lynch families, it's very much, as you said, genetic, it's a family thing.
It is, yes, yeah. You know, it can affect lots of family members.
Does it just increase the risk of it? Is it a condition in itself, or does it just increase the risk of someone getting cancer?
It's genetic, so you've got a genetic mutation, and it increases the risk of cancer. So, you know, if you've got a family history of cancer, you could have Lynch syndrome and not know that you've got it unless some testing has been done.
Tell me about your story. How did you come to be involved?
My brother was 34 the first time he had bowel cancer. He had a second bout of bowel cancer at 39, for which he was genetically tested, but that was negative. And then a few years later, he had a third bowel cancer, so retested, and that's when they found the specific gene that we've got. Oh, I see.
So, and is it more likely to affect men or women, or people of a particular age? Or?
No, it's 50-50. So affects women and men.
When you discovered this, what's it like for a family to discover that you have this?
For us, it was kind of a bit of a relief, knowing the reasons why my brother had bowel cancer at such a young age. But then also because the rest of the family members have to go through the testing process, it can sort of open a can of worms, and you do feel a little bit like a ticking time bomb.
And for you, what do you know about yourself now that you didn't?
Well, I was having colonoscopies every 3 years anyway, because of my brother being so young.
Right, yes.
And then once my mother tested positive for Lynch, I was tested. I was diagnosed in 2013, around about March. Mm-hmm. And then when I went for my first colonoscopy after testing, that's when I was told I'd got bowel cancer as well.
Oh, right. And how are you now? How is that?
I'm very well now. I had 3 major operations. Still go for screening, regular screening, but yeah, I'm doing okay. And a month after my cancer diagnosis, my mother was also diagnosed with cancer.
You were being screened regularly anyway.
Yes.
Because of your brother's experience. Had that not been happening, things could have been very different, couldn't they?
Things could have been very different, you know, because I was having them colonoscopies every 3 years. I wasn't due for one for another couple of months, so my cancer probably could have been a higher grade cancer if it had been left that little bit longer. But without any screening, by the time you know you sort of get symptoms, then usually you know you've got a stage 3 or a stage 4 cancer, which can be life threatening.
And I'm trying to put myself in your position. What it must be like to be part of a family where incidence is this high, where you have Lynch syndrome. What does it do to the family?
For our family, it's actually brought us closer together. You know, we can discuss so many personal things now, and you know, when we do have a laugh about it. But also from us being diagnosed with Lynch, I've got a brand new Lynch family within Lynch Syndrome UK, and people understand because they've all gone through the same. Okay, we're going to be talking more about Lynch Syndrome UK, the charity, in a couple of minutes. If you want to comment on what you're hearing, you can call 01743 248 321. We'll be back with Helen to talk about Lynch Syndrome UK after Take That and Pray on BBC Radio Shropshire. Well,